A football standout from the Bay Area found dead at a campground near Lake Oroville. It happened over the 4th of July weekend, and this evening, police say it's a homicide. Our crime reporter Henry Lee is live in the newsroom with the latest on the investigation. Henry.
Well, Andre, Tyler Dixon was found dead under circumstances that have yet to be fully explained. His loved ones want answers and are hoping for justice.
It's a tragic blow to everybody.
Friends and family of 20-year-old Tyler Dixon of San Pablo are in shock after the football standout was found dead at a Butte County campground, the victim of a homicide.
I can't imagine someone doing this to him.
At 5 a.m. Saturday, Butte County Sheriff's deputies responded to a 911 call reporting possible gunfire at the Bidwell Canyon Marina campground at Lake Oroville. They found Dixon dead in a tent. He'd been camping with another family. Sheriff's investigators have not said how he was killed, but are investigating his death as a homicide.
Right now, we're in the early stages of the investigation, and one of those things we are investigating is the cause and manner of death.
Would like the investigators to do their job and bring whoever to justice.
Will Bryant is athletic director of the Richmond Steelers youth football and cheer program. He's known Dixon since he was 9 years old.
Great kid, ended up being like family. Stayed with him, followed him through his high school career and on to college.
Dixon played football at El Cerrito High and was set to do the same at Contra Costa College this year.
So he was going to a junior college. So he was going to play there for a few years until he transferred to a larger school. I tell you guys, I could do this all day long, every day. Athletes, sports stars, college athletes, high school standouts that are killed. I don't even do all the stories. That's what I want you guys to know. That's what you guys got to know. I don't do all the stories. Sometimes I see these kids and I'm like, God, dog. And he was camping with another family. Who thinks that other family he was camping with? Give me a race on that other family he was camping with. And after you've given me the race that you think it is, could you imagine if he was camping with a white family? This was like The Blind Side or something like that, or Jimmy Butler or any of the other hundreds of professional athletes who were raised by white families. After, some situation happened with their family of origin, and they ended up being raised by a white family because it gave them a better chance at a better life, and they ended up in the NFL or the NBA or Major League Baseball or the MLS or whatever. And something happened to him. But this happens all the time, man. All the time. I just want you guys to know that. Like, I can't cover it all because I'm only one man.
Dixon played football at El Cerrito High and was set to do the same at Contra Costa College this year.
Some people have past, or some kids got some issues. He's that kid that didn't have none. Loved by everyone, many friends.
The coach remembered the day Dixon came up to him and whispered that he wanted to be quarterback instead of an offensive lineman. Coach thought otherwise because Dixon was 6'3" and 210 pounds.
And I was like, man, you can't play quarterback, but we need you to block.
But Dixon proved him wrong.
When we put him in the game, he threw the ball so pretty. All the way, and the rest was history.
The investigation is ongoing, and anyone with information is asked to call the Butte County Sheriff's Office. Live in the newsroom, Henry Lee, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
All right, Henry, thank you so much.
Now at 9 o'clock, the Butte County Sheriff's Office is investigating the murder of an East Bay man, the victim killed in his tent while he was camping in Oroville on Saturday. 20-year-old Tyler Dixon of San Pablo was a former quarterback at El Cerrito High School. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. I'm Catherine Heenan.
Brothers camping. Now, I need my California people to tell me, is this common? Do y'all go camping out there? You know, I don't know a lot of brothers that go camping. But Tyler did. He was killed. God, dog. Most of the people I know go camping are glacier gliders. So I maybe he was with some glacier gliders. I mean, I don't know. I'm really jacked up because I swore that killing in Atlanta at the golf course, I swore that was white on white crime. Turned out to be a brother. So I don't know, man. I'm hoping that, you know, since he was doing an activity which was stereotypically something that white people do, I'm hoping that it wasn't no. I'm hoping it wasn't no Sun people that did this to this brother, but just sad, man.
Tyler Dixon was a well-known athlete here at El Cerrito High School, where he graduated in 2019. His godfather says that he had a college football scholarship and a very bright future ahead of him. Unfortunately, now that's all gone, and his family is devastated, still looking for answers.
Just a great kid, though. You know, he was a kid that always was. I mean, he was first to practice. He was last to leave.
Andre Williams was heartbroken when he learned his godson, 20-year-old Tyler Dixon, was killed on Saturday while on a camping trip at the Bidwell Canyon Marina campground in Oroville, located in Butte County.
He was just a gentle giant, and his mom, they raised him right. He came from a great family, and it's just tragic that this happened to a kid like that who was already on scholarship.
Williams says Dixon had a scholarship to Western Colorado University for football. Dixon graduated from El Cerrito High School in 2019 and was the former quarterback of the football team. Williams says he also played basketball.
It's really devastated this community here because he was one of the ones that we knew was going to make it and come back and help these kids out. And right now, we're just in mourning.
While it's been a few days since Dixon died, Williams says many questions still linger. He says Dixon was on the trip with his girlfriend's family at the time and later learned that Dixon was shot and killed in the abdomen while inside his tent.
Okay, so he was on vacation with his girlfriend's family. This is California, so we don't know. That doesn't necessarily mean that the girlfriend was black. He was shot in his abdomen in his tent. And all we're hearing is great things about this kid. And I believe these people about this kid, that he's a, good, great kid. What could have happened, man?
He says Dixon was on the trip with his girlfriend's family at the time and later learned that Dixon was shot and killed in the abdomen while inside his tent.
What we do know is supposedly someone came in his tent while him and his girlfriend was sleeping, just shot one time and shot him and ran off. Real puzzling, especially when I talked to his mom, because there's no answers and it's just like, it doesn't make any sense.
So far, the Butte County Sheriff's Office put out limited information and have not named any suspects. They say the investigation is ongoing and they're asking the public to come forward with any information they may have. In El Cerrito, Taylor Bisacki, KRON 4 News.
11 Alive News at 5 begins with breaking news. A 17-year-old boy rushed to the hospital after he was shot several times while selling water on a ramp to I-285 in College Park.
The gunman drove off, with police still searching for them right now. 11 Alive's Joe Ripley is live near 285 and Old National Highway with what we know so far.
Good evening. College Park police say the 17-year-old was targeted, shot 4 times. He had to be rushed to the hospital. Right now, we don't know much about the gunman. All police know right now is that they drove away in a white sedan. You can see that, over here, we have some other water boys selling water here. 2 other cars, I was speaking to them earlier. They said they did not know the teen who was shot. They didn't know any of the other teens involved who were victims. They say this corner is usually safe. Just moments ago, this is what they were telling me, and now they're back out here selling water. Hours, I should say, after teen was shot earlier today.
That water boy stuff, man. As we know, these guys are very aggressive, very, very aggressive. They've been known to shoot people. They shoot people a lot. They damage people's cars. They threaten people. They're very disrespectful. They're very aggressive, especially if it's a woman. They expect, to be given stuff. They expect to be given, they look at it as, at least I'm not out here selling drugs or shooting people, so you should give me $5. If you give me $10 bill, you shouldn't expect no change back. And if you don't buy no water, you hating on me. That's kind of like their stance. But these little kids from the ghetto, man, they doing what they can, It's rough, man, because they're a blight, and they're a nuisance to drivers, commuters. However, what you gonna do with them? What can you do with them? I say send them to McDonald's, because McDonald's is paying $15 an hour now to flip burgers. And it's a job shortage right now. There's a job shortage right now in the country. Major job shortage. Major employee shortage. Let me correct that. There's not a job shortage. There's an employee shortage. Employers are begging people who spent the last year receiving money for free because of the stimuluses and the unemployment benefits, and then the fraudulent PPP loans. So people have been eating. The class of people that would normally work at McDonald's been eating good last year. And it's ironic that while these people have been eating better than they have ever in their life, have had more money than they've had ever in their life, the crime rate has risen. But every time we talk about crime, the first thing they mention is poverty. But anyway, it's going to be hard to wean those people off those free checks coming in the mail to get them to work. That's why McDonald's is paying $15 an hour now. $15 an hour to drop fries and flip burgers. Amazing. That's where these boys need to be. At McDonald's. Working somewhere. This water boy stuff. It's too much violence, too much shenanigans involved with it. Of course, there's always going to be kids that do this stuff. But the kids that aren't the type of kids that will always be doing this stuff, the type of kids that are just only doing this because they need some money, they need to take their butt down to McDonald's.
And now they're back out here selling water, hours, I should say, after teen was shot earlier today. Let's show you some video here from social media showing College Park police responding to this shooting. It happened around 12:20 this afternoon near the intersection of 285 and Old National Highway. Officers saying several witnesses told them 2 men in a white car pulled up the 14 selling water, showed off weapons, then started firing at the kids. One teen was shot in the leg, hand, and wrist. He had to go to the hospital, but is expected to survive. Police say the 3 other kids were not hurt. The white car drove southbound on Old National toward 285 North after the shooting. Police saying this underscores the dangers people selling water can face.
My biggest takeaway from this, my biggest shock from this, not the trash and the litter they leave, and how they, you could tell they've been there, but that nobody, some fucking father of 7 or some mom of 3 just minding her business, sitting at the light, didn't get their brains blown out by a stray bullet. That's the only thing that surprises me about this. As you know, I've done so many videos about the Water Boys. If you subscribe to this channel, you know all about it. Very violent situation going on down there. Hostile, aggressive situation. I'm just happy no innocent bystanders got their brains blown up.
When we see them, we try to shoo them away, let them know, hey, let's try to go somewhere else, fellas. Let's try to find another means of making your money because it's not safe out there.
So the police tell them it's not safe to sell water. What kind of community is this where it's not safe to sell waters? Just think about that. It's not safe to sell waters in this community for the people buying them or for the people selling them. Just selling water becomes a dangerous situation in this community. Wow.
Right now, we are still working to learn more about the suspects. Police urging anyone with information, any witnesses who might have shot pictures or video on their phone to come forward because it may help in this investigation.
A teenager gunned down while selling water on the side of a busy interstate off-ramp in broad daylight. And now police want to find the person responsible. Good evening, I'm Russ Spencer.
And I'm Christine Spiro in for Courtney Bryant. It happened on the old National Highway off-ramp of 285 westbound a little before 12:30 this afternoon. Fox 5's Lindsay Tooman is live at the College Park Police Department. And Lindsay, do investigators have any leads at this point?
Christine, at this point, investigators say the information they have is very limited. They do say they know that 2 men in a white sedan were the ones behind this shooting, and they do believe that this was a targeted attack. Now, 4 teenagers, all around 17 years old, were out selling water on the off-ramp of the 285 westbound highway at Old.
Now, I've shown you plenty of videos of where they just do crazy stuff. They jump on people's cars, they demand money, they shoot people, they cuss people out, they reach in people's cars and grab their purses. And the list goes on and on. Could this have been a situation where somebody whose car they ran up on and had some kind of interaction that wasn't swell may have come back? Because they're sitting ducks. That's the thing that's the craziest thing about it, that of course not all of them, but that some of them treat people so roughly and harshly, is that they're sitting ducks. If you were looking for one of these dudes, if you have a bad situation with one of these dudes, it ain't like, man, when I see you again. No, you know right where they gonna be at. So this could be a situation where one of them had a negative. This resulted from a negative interaction while selling water, or it could have been some street beef, hood beef. All these guys are young homies from the community, so the stand. It could have been that too.
Police say those 2 suspects in that white sedan drove up to those teenagers, started shooting at one in particular. They shot him twice in the legs, also in the hand and wrist. That young man was taken to Grady Memorial Hospital. He is expected to recover from those injuries. The suspects, though, took off, going south down I-285. The 3 other teenagers selling water, as well as other drivers in that area, all saw the crime, and they did call police. But at this point, there's no other information on who those suspects are or why they targeted this victim. I spoke to 2 other teenagers selling water at the same area later this afternoon. They told me they heard about the shooting. but they weren't worried to go back out there. Police, though, say what they're doing isn't safe.
It only be like a handful of us. We don't know who it really, we don't know who it is, but we just heard somebody had got shot. That's all.
Does it worry you guys at all, or?
No, not here. Because we don't do no, you feel me, no bad stuff or nothing to get us put off.
I commend these brothers for speaking to the media. I believe them. I believe these brothers that, you know, it's different groups and different factions. It's not like one big, you know, water boy agency. It's just, you know, it's just random guys from the hood that go down there. That's why they have problems with each other sometimes, because some, you know, sometimes they have, you know, arguments over turf and arguments over sales, because it's just random guys from random areas. And, you know, I mean, I guess you got to be a tough guy to go down there, because, you know, you bringing down your water, you got your money, you got things of value, you know, they basically, wherever corner the water boys at is like the hood, or like a juvenile detention center, or like a drug corner. So I commend these guys for telling. I believe these kids, they probably don't know what happened. They probably don't, and the fact that somebody got shot, if that deterred them from going somewhere, how would they go anywhere in their little world that they live in? How would they go anywhere if someone being shot somewhere was a deterrent? That happens everywhere in their world. These 17-year-old teens in these democratically run cities, everywhere they're at, somebody just got shot. So how could someone being shot just be like that? That doesn't mean anything to them. They don't. That's common. That always happens. You know, that always happens.
It only be like a handful of us. We don't know who it really, we don't know who it is, but we just heard somebody had got shot. That's all.
Does it worry you guys at all, or?
No, not here. Because we don't do no, you feel me, no bad stuff or nothing to get us put off.
And so what our officers do, when we see them, we try to shoo them away, let them know, hey, let's try to go somewhere else, fellas. Let's try to find another means of making your money, because it's not safe out there.
As for those suspects, police say they did take off going down the southbound down 285, and they're asking anyone who was in the area during that time this afternoon, again around 12:20, if you were there, if you were taking pictures, if you saw anything, please get in touch with the College Park Police Department. You can also call Crime Stoppers with any information. Reporting live in College Park, Lindsay Tuman, Fox 5 News.
The sad thing about the stand is there's no difference between these kids and the kid that got killed in California. The great kid, the athlete, great young man from a great young family. There's very little difference in the outcomes many times in these kids' lives, unless they leave, unless they get the hell away. Because as long as they stay in that community, regardless of how you raise them, great home, great family. And when I say that community, I'm talking about, like, even though the one kid in California who got killed at the campground, he was up there. It appears to be he was up there with a large contingent of Blackistanians. That'll be revealed. But these kids, it's just sad, man. These kids, obviously they don't have parents. If you have parents, if you have good parents, you're not gonna be out here selling waters for $1, hustling all day. If these kids buy a case of water for, let's say they buy a case of 48 waters for $24, right? And they lug them down there. And let's just say they sell each one of them 48 waters. Let's just say over the course of 4 hours, they sell the whole case of 48. They've made $24. And these kids gotta smoke weed, they gotta eat. You know? Go to McDonald's. McDonald's is paying $15 an hour. Go look for a job. And I'm not saying, oh, get a job like they used to say. You know how they used to say, get a job. No, I'm saying like right now, like the jobs are paying extra. They're giving signing bonuses at UPS and shit. Target. Go be a lot tech. Push carts back to the front of the store for $15 an hour. You can listen to your little iPod or whatever, your little iTunes while you're doing it. You can holler at the little cashiers inside the store. You have freedom. You get tips and helping people put groceries in their cart. Because there's no way that these kids could be like drug dealers acting like you lame if you get a job when they selling goddamn waters off an exit ramp. I get drug dealers acting like, oh, y'all lame. I ain't getting no job, man. Shit, man. Some drug dealer making, hundreds of dollars a night, thousands of dollars a night. Okay, they want to act like it's lame to get a job, fine. But these kids, go get a job, man.